Hi guys, you completely missed it. Tanny was singing in the kitchen and everything, and you know what? I tried to film it. I've just been sitting here rambling to myself for the last 5 minutes, realising that I was on the photo setting of my camera and not the video. Wind your neck in. Eat your pork pie.
So you missed all my singing?
I completely missed it. Did you do us an encore? That's a fuck off.
So you missed my bubble song?
I missed your bubble song. I missed all of it. I'm so sorry.
There you go.
Oh, guys. So it is the 29th of December 2020. Now I finally gotcha. I'm so sorry. I will get him next time. I will. Okay, so what I was rambling about to myself, obviously, because, you know, I was on the wrong setting.
It wasn't.
To be fair, it's only 7:20 in the morning, and
You can't put so many plugs in it. And it's ears.
Eh?
It is you rambling.
No.
You did it, ran off. Look, it's in the kitchen.
Good. Well, she can run off and be in the kitchen. Okay, so a friend of mine put up a meme this morning. It was probably last night, actually, because nothing tends to be the most recent when you look at it on Facebook for most of it. Saying that biofortification is now the new go-to word, that instead of genetically modified or GMO products and stuff like that. And so I wanted to look this up because I don't understand what biofortification is. Excuse me. So I wanted to look it up so then I could explain it to you. Now I'm going to put the link to the biofortification wiki page down below in the comment, in the description below. Yeah. So basically, biofortification is the idea of breeding crops to increase their nutritional value. Okay. And it can either be done through conventional selective breeding or through genetic engineering. So in other words, you don't know how it's been done. Anything that's biofortified, they cannot guarantee that it's not genetically modified, and they won't tell you whether it's conventionally selective, which is a bit of a pain in the butt. Okay, now there are a few things. If you read the article, you'll understand where I'm a little bit. Okay, so basically, what they're trying to say is that biofortification is necessary because of lack of nutrients available to people in low and middle income countries, and especially iron when it comes to 2 billion people suffering from iron deficiency induced anemia. And I'm like, hang on a sec. Or, you know, providing nutrients to the rural poor who rarely have access to commercially fortified foods. Now, if you're growing your own food and you're using traditional farming methods, not, you know, dumping a whole load of chemicals here, there and everywhere on everything, then, and eating a well-balanced diet, you shouldn't be having issues with lack of nutrients. You really shouldn't. It shouldn't be there. The reason that we have issues with lack of nutrients in our food is due to, one, processed foods being cheaper than buying the actual ingredients themselves, which is ridiculous. And modern farming methods of industrialized farming that is literally draining all the nutrients out of the soils and are having to be artificially put back in using chemicals. So, I mean, hundreds of years, hundreds of thousands, millions of years, millennia, ever since we started doing agriculture as a species, we have been using collective selective breeding methods. So we have been collecting the best of the seeds from the best of the plants to create the next generation of planting, which is fine and it's normal and it's what's expected. What is not okay is things like golden rice. Now, golden rice is an example of a genetically modified crop developed for its nutritional value. The latest version of golden rice contains genes from a common soil bacterium, Erwinia, and maize. So, corn, sweet corn type maize, for those of you who don't know what maize are, because and contains increased levels of beta carotene, which is in orange food, so carrots and sweet potatoes, which can be and pumpkins, which can be converted to the body into vitamin A. Golden rice is being developed as a potential new way to address vitamin A deficiency. Okay. Why are we having bacteria grown? I mean, yes, it's common soil bacteria, but if it's encouraged to grow naturally in our soils, why is it needed to be put into an actual seed to grow? Yeah. I can't say I'm liking it. I'm not. And where selective breeding is that they get one or two plants, they crossbreed them, they get them up, you know, that's, they get their nutritional value out of 2 or 3 different plants, crossbreed them, get their seed that way. That is a far more natural way of doing things because it's done through natural selection. If it works, it works. Case in point is that a lot of pumpkin seeds, if you collect them and collect them and collect them, eventually you'll grow a plant that doesn't even resemble the original plant at all, because it will go back to what it was to start with, its original type of pumpkin. So, yeah, I can't say that I'm really impressed. What really annoys me is the fact that they're trying to push this stuff on people who've been made rurally poor. And when I say they've been made rurally poor, if you look at places like Bolivia, where they have literally been put on their uppers because of the world's need for quinoa all of a sudden, and people refusing to buy it from local sources, it is available to buy in the UK now, UK grown. There is no need to buy it from Bolivia or anywhere else. They do grow it in Germany. It's grown all over the EU, all over Europe. So there is no need to buy Bolivian quinoa. The problem that we had with buying that is that we made the farmers unable to eat their own product. People were starving in Bolivia because they could no longer have their own crop that they grow and produce for their own use and for sale, because worldwide need was so big. Yeah. It's not a good thing, is it? You know, I think people's greed, you've got to look at these things. The other thing is as well, and I'm a big advocate of buying as close to home as possible. I try not to get things from overseas. Part of doing that is so that we are growing our own, and we will be getting further into that during the next year. It's just that we are in a position of not knowing if and when we're going to be moved. So we don't really want to set up anything too extravagant because we're going to have to move it, which is terrifying. The whole thought of that is terrifying, because if we got into the middle of summer and we had our tomatoes and cucumbers and everything going in the ground, in the polytunnel, and all of a sudden had to move, we'd be fecked. But we're going to do what we can with what we've got at this point and see how we go from there, really. You can?
I'll probably get the polytunnel up and everybody else will get all the stuff put in and they'll say, oh yeah, there's a place here, then bang.
Yeah. I can see that happening, but I think if we work out how we're going to do things, it's going to make it a little bit easier for moving. If we're really organised and figure out how we're going to do it, that's probably the best way to do it, really, isn't it? Make it so it is movable.
The thing is about it, how's it going to be movable when we put in 2 beds inside the polytunnel? You won't be able to pick them.
So we put 4 smaller beds or 6 smaller beds. Or we put containers in it for this year. But we work it out anyway, so it's possible.
I think you'll probably do it all done by pots. If we put the polytunnel.
Yeah, I think we do it all by pots, and that way we'll just go out and get some more. It's not going to be hard, is it?
I think it's going to be the best way.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's going to be the best way, honestly, because we don't know. Yeah. Well, because we can move the frame, can't we? So, yeah. We have plans, we can do this, okay? It's just about modifying how we were going to do it. And that's not a bad thing at the end of the day. So anyway, if you're looking at countries that are food poor, there is, no need for it at all. Other countries who have gluts and, you know, more food than they need, because we throw out billions upon billions of tons of food every year. And it shouldn't be like that. If one country can't use it, send it over to a country that can use it. There's no need for having to dump a whole heap of modified crap into our seeds to make them, you know, more nutritious. If we actually shared and looked at ourselves on a global scale rather than just a I want scale, you know, sorry, I've got an empty bottle at my feet. It's only a Coke bottle, just saying. We wouldn't have to worry about any of this. You know, we wouldn't have to. And I think we need to start looking at that. Yes, to a degree, we need to start doing for ourselves as well. But we also need to be looking at things on a global scale, and we haven't been, and that's where we've ended up with the situation that we're in now, which is based on greed. There is no other explanation for it whatsoever. Unfortunately, we now have a generation or two of people who have been brought up with reality TV voting. So they vote for the one that looks the best, or talks the best game, you know, or is the most entertaining. They don't look at who the person is, or whether they deserve to be there, or what is actually saying, coming out of their mouth, how much truth is in it. And so we've got people who are voting for the government in the very same way. They're not looking at past behaviour. They're not looking at, you know, their manifesto. They're not looking at how practical things are. They're not looking at their record. They're just voting for the one that talks the best game. And then they wonder why they get disappointed every single time. And for those who don't, it's like, well, you know, I get that. I do. And they are getting sick of all sorts of things. But anywho, the point is this. We need to start looking globally rather than pumping crap into our seeds. Our seeds are our lifeline at the end of the day. And a lot of the genetically modified seeds are created in such a way as that they kill insects. They kill them because they already pump things like insecticides into the seeds themselves, which kills the insects, which has been killing our bees, which has been killing all sorts of things. So staying away from those is really, really important. And buying as many heritage seeds as possible is really, really important, because you can actually seed collect from them, whereas you can't so much from the genetically modified stuff. They don't allow for most of the plants that are grown with genetically modified seeds are born sterile, and you might get maybe one seed out of 50 that works, which is not great. It's not great. Anywho, enough of my rambling. I'm gonna go now, but I hope that does sort of like open up a little bit more information of thinking about what biofortification is, and when they put on your food it's biofortified. Go and do some research, look it up for yourself. You don't have to believe me. I'm not asking you to believe me. These morning ramblings are just that, morning ramblings. Yeah, and I will see you guys later. I love you heaps. And I will, yeah, I've got videos coming up today, so foodie ones, you know, other food. Real food. And I will catch up with you guys later. Okay, bye bye.